else is there?
Hey!
Welcome to the Ramble Radio! Come on! 316.
It's also video.
Oh, it might be. I'm not saying it isn't.
It's right there. You can see it. It's right here.
It
right here.
might.
That's
be
video. Video.
It might be, but 316.
Oh, Stone Cold.
The Stone Cold
Stone Cold episode.
Ramble Radio.
The can of whoop ass episode.
The can of whoop ass Ramble Radio. You think it's just you and I?
Yeah.
It is. It is. It's just you and I.
Wow.
Well, you know, them trying to get the E. Jean Carroll thing, that didn't work out.
Yeah, that didn't work.
He might be your boy.
But he did. He did get that CNN town hall set up.
He got the. So maybe that was Cody.
That
could have been Cody.
Yeah.
Really doing everything he can.
Yeah.
So huge get.
Huge get for the codester.
For the codes. For the codes. A huge one. Huge. Huge, as his guy would say. Huge.
Huge. On the town hall meeting. Huge.
Do you think Cody's... Is he going to pick a side, though? Because he was kind of playing both Trump and DeSantis.
I mean, you know Cody. He's probably he's pulling all the strings. So
yeah, right. Yeah, we just
know.
don't know who he's pulling them for yet.
We'll find out at some point.
Oh, we'll know.
Just know that
we'll
he's
know.
Pulling all the strings.
And that's why he can't be here. And another reason might be, lucky motherfucker, he might be watching Guardians of the Galaxy already.
Well, we'll see it on Friday. Friday night we're seeing it.
Friday night. We would have seen it Thursday.
Yeah.
But they kind of... Was that a mistake? To book it, to post it the same day as May the 4th?
May the
4th. Big Star Wars celebration?
A lot of Star Wars stuff going on. And I'm taking Colton for his birthday to Star Wars night at Disneyland.
Right.
So that's why I couldn't go to the movie. So
right.
It seems weird to make it released on May the 4th. But
May the 4th, you'd think it'd be something else. But
right.
Do you think we're going to get anything on May the 4th? Do you think we're going to get any, what if there's already a trailer for something that's been teased?
I mean, maybe we'll see some more from the Ahsoka series coming out. Maybe we'll see that. What's that? The Skeleton Crew,
right?
That show that's coming out. I don't know.
I mean,
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I'm telling you, haven't been the biggest fan of Star Wars past Andor recently, but I'm always excited. I'm always excited to see what else they're going to try and do, what else they're going to throw at us.
I don't mind. I enjoy it. There was Mandalorian season 3 it had hits and misses for sure. There was some episodes that were kind of
I think the problem is the first 2 seasons were so good.
First season was insane, and then the way to end season 2, how do you top that?
Right, and so this one is like,
you're battling yourself at that point. So right. So I understand that it's leading to something else, but I kind of like the way it sort of resolved itself, and now he's just sort of this gun for hire that's living out on a ranch by himself.
He didn't have to fuck with the Mandalorian shit anymore. Yeah. Right? He's just kind of...
Mandalorians have retaken Mandalore. Who knows what they're going to do? We'll find out probably later on in some crossover event.
Yeah.
But I also like how they just broke the Darksaber and fuck it.
We don't need it anymore.
So they just later. That meant nothing. Bye.
Who broke it? I forgot.
He crushed. Bo had it in her hand, and Moff Gideon had that armored, that mechanical suit on, and just crushed her hand with it.
Right. Bye.
Bye. We don't need that. Don't need this you anymore. Mandalorians love your trinkets.
Wow! Oh. What a shot! What a shot!
But Gideon didn't die at the end of season 3, right?
You think we'll see more of the Gids?
That armor survives that fire.
Does Bryant Gumbel call them Gids?
Gids. Offs?
Gids.
Moths? Gids?
Offs? Moths?
Ids? Idioms? Ins?
Moths?
What's moths?
Moths?
Hey, moths. Gids? Hey, Gids.
So wait, was Tarkin... Was Tarkin like the Kevin McCarthy of the Empire? So, if the Emperor died and Vader died and he lived, is he the guy?
Well,
I wonder who's the secretary.
The Moffs weren't really part of the political arena of Star Wars.
They were all military.
They were the military. That was sort of that was sort of your Joint Chief of Staff, 5-star general,
right,
type of guy that was heading up Department of Defense,
Right.
and Pentagon and shit.
The Tarks.
The Tarks.
Grand Moff Tarks.
The Tarks. I don't know who would be second in line to succeed
After,
Emperor. I assume Vader would then take over.
Vader.
But then I guess whoever Vader's apprentice was.
So you think that's who it would be?
I would assume Vader would take on apprentice. That's why he's trying to bring on Luke. Hey, we'll take out the Emperor. You and
me run the galaxy together.
Right. So I don't think the Gids was ever in line to take over along with the Tarks.
But here's my question: would that be fun to take over the galaxy?
Why would you want to do that?
Why would you want it? Like, do you think the Emperor Palpatine's just sitting there looking at tax forms and fucking like he's the last guy to approve a new stop sign somewhere?
That's why he had the Senate and all the bureaucrats that do that. He was just in his throne room doing shit.
But I don't even understand. What did they do? That's what I don't understand. Like, what did they fucking do?
Well, I was thinking about this with Star Wars.
Yeah.
Okay, like you have A New Hope, right?
Yeah.
And they talk about how the Empire took over, the dark times, the Empire, the Jedi were a thing of the past.
Right.
And that was just backstory to make Episode 4 a movie.
Yes.
So you can go forward. You had this old Jedi. It was like talking about the great times. Now with the dark times, we're going to battle. And so Star Wars was just those first 3 movies. It was it was A New Hope, Empire Return, and that tells the story. And we all know the prequels were just the backstory showing the old Republic and the Empire.
Right.
But no one needed to ever see that. That was just part of the backstory to get to.
Right.
And then the thing is, but once you go into a microscope and start pulling that stuff apart and making prequels and making all these references you hear about in the main movies, then it opens up to scrutinization from all the people like, well, this is stupid. That can't work. I'm like, yeah, but this was never supposed to be a movie.
Right.
This was just backstory stuff to make the movie you're watching palatable.
Because that's kind of they just kind of because I was laughing with you the other day. I was like, as excited as I am for Ahsoka and maybe seeing Ezra again, right?
Yeah.
Boy, they really fucked the whole Luke is the last Jedi thing. They just took that and said that can go fuck itself because there was 40,000 other
right, but then
more.
But then you always have, from a certain point of view, you always have that thing that can throw up. Like, well, that's all they knew of. They just assumed they all assumed the other Jedi died.
Well, they all just assumed they died. And what a terrible job Palpatine was as Emperor. If you really look at it, he did a great job getting power.
Yeah.
But once he got it...
short reign.
Is he a bust? Is he like an all-time bust?
I mean, is it like the Ultimate Warrior's title reign when he
That's
won the
what
title?
I'm thinking.
Like, you had all this hype getting to there, and then you get there,
he gets there and he blows it.
You're not Hogan.
You're not Hogan.
Well, because the old Republic stood for 1,000 years. That's
1,000 years.
That's a Bruno Sammartino reign.
Right. This guy, the Ultimate Warrior.
That's a Bob Backlund reign. That's a, and then he finally gets the title and
he blows it.
He blows it in what, 30 years? 25 years?
30 years he's done.
Not even that. I think Luke was 18, and then Return of the Jedi was like 5 years. So it's like 24 years.
He blew it, and it's fucking his.
It's like whenever Sting beat Ric Flair for the world title, Sting finally got it, and then okay, now what?
Well, now what do we do?
Yeah.
Well, now what do we do? This is what that. I mean, he fucking. I mean, I have to say, Palpatine is an all-time bust.
He might be.
I think.
He might be.
As far as
I mean, the New Republic didn't do much better when they took over.
No,
when they dethroned
they didn't.
Palps.
They lasted even less.
Yeah.
There was about the same, I guess.
About the same.
With taking
so it's sort of like you had the Hogan reign in the early '80s, a 4-year run, and then you had then Macho Man gets the title for a year. And they're like, well, this isn't working.
We need Hogan back.
We got Hogan back, and Hogan gets back. Like, well, this isn't working either.
It's just that does not work. He's like, well, who's gonna beat him now?
Right.
He's beaten everybody. There's no one left.
No one to beat. And then you build up the Warrior.
They had to bring Zeus in. They had to get they had to be like, Zeus, can you pretend to be a pro wrestler for 5 minutes?
Because the only thing that's beaten Hogan so far is the box office.
That's it. That's the only thing. What was that movie? No Holds Barred?
No Holds
Barred wasn't quite the Rocky we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, but if you just watch strictly WWF programming at the time, it was the biggest blockbuster in the world.
Ever.
The way Gorilla Monsoon talked about that movie.
Oh, it's a great one.
It's shattering records all over the world. It was like Baghdad Bob or whatever the fuck that guy's name was. When like
it's better than E.T., Brain.
I've heard Spielberg's quitting filmmaking.
Brain, I heard Spielberg and Lucas sucked each other off and then killed themselves. That's what I heard.
So I remember watching that. I remember watching them talk about that movie. I'm like, what movie did you guys see?
What did you see? Because this sucked. Even as a kid, I was like, this is terrible.
I tried.
This is a
when I saw in the
movie.
theater, and I tried to like, oh, this is gonna be great. And I'm watching like, this is not.
This is fucking
This is
bad.
not good. This is really bad.
Thunderlips was Hogan's finest moment in Rocky
screen,
3
yeah.
as Thunderlips. That
Or
was,
Suburban Commando.
Or Suburban Commando was brilliant. But
When
so
he was-
you think, I don't know how, but he ain't, what's his face was better. Darth Bane was 1,000 times, did more than Palpatine did.
Yeah. I think Palpatine might have been. I mean, the one thing Palpatine did was sort of wipe the Jedi out, in a way. Most of
But
the
he
Jedi.
did it because there's 30 of them left.
But most of the Jedi.
Eddie, I'm sorry, I'm going to argue against that because
Who was left? Okay, you had Cal Kestis,
in all the prequels,
Kanan Jarrus.
Wait, let me say real quick. If you were to have a street, like go to a field and play a pickup game, right?
Yeah,
With all the Jedi who were murdered on order that we saw murdered from Order
66, yeah.
and all the ones who've been popping up since, they got 11 on 11. They can play. They can play a full game.
Well, the thing is, someone like Ezra Bridger who popped up, he was just a Force. People are born with the Force. Or Force
he doesn't
sensitive.
count.
He doesn't count. Cal Kestis was obviously a Padawan that escaped.
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka wasn't part of the Jedi Order. She was already gone, so she was nowhere near.
Still, she was a stop. She was in.
Yeah, well, they tried to kill her, but she got away.
Who's the guy from the video
Kanan
game?
Jarrus.
Kanan. Who's the video
Cal
game guy?
Kestis.
Cal Kestis. So, and then we have, there's Grogu, who made it out. There's
Thanks to Jar Jar. Jar
thanks
Jar
to
got
Jar Jar.
Pogo. Got Grogu out.
I'm just saying, there's way more that are just still there. Like, I mean, I get it. They got to tell these stories, but it's,
I mean, I can see.
This is my point: is how bad Palpatine was, how bad he blew it.
Well, you're only as good as your clone troopers who are executing Order 66.
His Order 66 got rid of 10 Jedi. We saw they killed 15 Jedi. That's always. And then, I'm sorry to say this, 8-year-old me is going to be so upset. But Yoda kind of blew it too. Yoda and Obi, they couldn't tell there was 40 other motherfuckers running around. They were just like, well, it's up to Luke or Leia. Oh well,
They didn't know. They were at the Jedi Temple and they saw all the slain Jedi. And then he put the message out, hey, do not return to the temple. That our time is over. Go into hiding.
Time's over. Go into hiding.
But he only knew of Luke being the only next one. He didn't know of anybody else hiding. So he could have suspected, but he only knew that there would probably only be one as powerful enough to take down Vader because he was the direct descendant of Vader.
Well, I don't want to bring this up, but I'm going to have to. Because this is my theory.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
As to why Grogu, Cal Kestis, okay?
Yeah.
Look, was there a Jedi Master who got a little touchy with the younglings?
Dude.
And they were like, we can't, this is going to bring the whole order down. These kids got to go. We got to just ship them off somewhere else. That we can't risk them running their mouths. We can't risk them ratting out. You know who I think it was too?
Who?
The guy with the big fucking cone head thing.
Ki Mandu Ali or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's the guy. Come on. Come on. No question. The guy who had the little thin mustache beard thing. That guy.
The Fu
no
Manchu.
question.
Yeah.
He was the one. He was molesting the younglings.
Maybe that's what Order 66 was. It was sort of the QAnon version of like, let's save the children. And Palpatine put that out there to wipe out all the pedophile Jedis. And that was just sort of his, where we go one, we go all.
Of course, like modern day Q people, it's all projection. Palpatine was probably the worst offender of molesting.
Oh, absolutely.
But I'm wondering if maybe one of those Jedi Masters got a little... You know what I mean? A little touchy with the kids. A little touchy with it. Like what
odds are in the favor of that happening.
A deleted scene or two where Grogu just keeps going for Mandalorian's dick, and he's like, "Dude, what are you doing?
What are you doing, dude? No,
Stop this! What's the matter with you?" You know, he just keeps trying to grab. He's like, "Whoa, what the fuck? Who taught you this? The fuck? Stop this! What's the matter with you?" That's why
he wakes up and Grogu's just doing this. And like from across the room, and Mandalorian's like coming, like, "What are you doing? Stop, dude! Stop making me come! I don't want this."
This is fucking awkward. I don't need this in my life. I don't know. I don't think that's that off of a theory, Eddie. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't think it's that crazy.
It's one of
theorem.
one of the more obscure theories I've heard, but
yes,
it can't be discounted.
Probably won't make it to canon.
I mean,
what do you think?
morons thought Mace Windu was Snoke. So how can you discount our theory?
Right, but we're wrong.
We were wrong, but you guys
we're the dummies.
You're the people that got angry when it wasn't Jar Jar Binks.
Right, now we're the bad guys. Come on. I hate to do it. So here's my last thing. What's with this stupid show with these LIL apostrophe Jedi? This new cartoon show. Where it looks like
I think it's just for kids. It's like little kids. They all get slaughtered at the end.
They're all gonna get slaughtered, baby.
They have to.
Or are these motherfuckers gonna show up as like adults 10 years later?
I don't know what the show is. I'm hoping when I saw the preview that it's about like old Republic Jedi, and these are little kids that could live for 100 years before they die.
And maybe that's just that Yoda from Knights of the Old Republic or something.
This isn't a bunch of little kids that are gonna get slaughtered in a couple months by Anakin to keep their mouths shut.
But the problem is, since Filoni loves to connect every dot, maybe he is making a show to give the backstory for the room full of younglings that Anakin kills.
And the series ends with them all getting slaughtered. Because they were talking. They were talking too much, and Anakin couldn't have that. Palpatine sent Anakin there to just kill the younglings. Don't ask any questions why. Just do it, Anakin.
Gotta get rid of this.
We gotta cover this up.
Oh, fuck. Well, there we go. As much fun as this has been, there's contractual. God damn it.
Skeletor.
Fucking hell.
We were talking, we have May the 4th coming up on Thursday. And Jerry and I, of course, are big Star Wars fans.
Yes.
Are you a fan of any particular film genre or franchise?
Well, Eddie, that's a wonderful question, and I'm glad that you've asked me that. I have an annual film festival in Snake Mountain where it's a Snake Mountain. It's called the Snake Mountain Film Festival, and I show different films and different genres, but they all have one thing in common. It's me choking a prostitute to death. It's different films, some documentaries, some reenactments, but I'm choking a different woman of the night, maybe man of the night. I'm choking them to death while I come all over their dying bodies. And that's my favorite genre of movie, and it's all over. Really big hits. I just signed a deal. They're going to do an animated version for children where I'm a little tiny Skeletor, very spunky. But I will eventually choke and murder a prostitute at the end of that film as well. Film festivals, bad news, sold out. Already sold out, so there's no new tickets. And it's going to be this upcoming weekend inside the largest venue we could find in Eternia, He-Man's mother's pussy! We're going to put a big, that's going to screen on one of her pussy lips. That's so big. It fit everybody. And whore!
Okay.
All right.
There it is. Jesus Christ, dude.
Catch Cinesnob Cody. Get on there so he can join Rotten Tomatoes. Right some wrong.
There's also blooper reels. Did you know that? There's little like Cannonball Run.
Oh.
Where, I choke one to death, I jizz all over him, and then the broad comes back to life, and jizz everywhere, and I have to kill her again. And then when the crews all were having a laugh.
Okay, there it is.
All right. 5 days a week, patreon.com.
Yeah, Ralph Report.
Tuesdays, Fridays, Ramble Radio. Wednesdays, Ramble Proper.
Look at that. You can find me in the same Ramble places. You can find Eddie and Cody. Also on Twitch, twitch.tv/Retro Rocha, my YouTube channel. Follow us on all these things. Find us, love us. We love you guys. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow for a regular ramble.
Yeah.
Stay safe, everybody.